we used to hang around boys from Peckham and Wharf Road. So we used to go to Wharf Road and like, it's the same acceptance, significance and security thing. All the rest of the boys are doing it, so naturally you're gonna progress in the same direction they're going. So we started buying like 1/4 grams of cocaine, started to sniff and drink, and crime was still rife then. And the older boys that was a bit older than me, about 3 years older than me, that's when the early 80s, that was about 82, 83, 84. These were boys that I used to look up to. These were good earners. They always used to look smart and clean and tidy, and they had respect in the community from everybody. And that's when there's the explosion of heroin called Skag in the early 80s. Like you could buy little bags of Skag for £5. And it went through the whole of South London, East, North and West London like a tornado, man. Everyone was doing it the same way. Everyone started sniffing glue, smoking cigarettes, sniffing glue, started smoking weed, sniffing Charlie. It was just a progression. It was just like must have been Satan, the enemy, man. He was sending it into the ghetto and people were just taking it. And the guys that I used to look up to at that time, they started smoking heroin, and I just see them, a total transformation, but in a bad way, man. Like the guys that used to be really smart and have nice clothes and nice trainers and nice cars and everything, slowly but surely you could just see them going down and that, like a Spitfire in the Second World War, man. It was just going down rapidly before, they never had nothing. And then they'd start putting themselves on liberty and get arrested for stupidness and they'd be in jail. And I always said to myself, that's one thing I'm never gonna do, man, is take heroin, because it kind of like pained me looking at the boys that I used to look up to and seeing them all flattened, man, by this chasing the dragon thing. So my friends started, that's why they started to inject cocaine, that's why at the time. And I always said to myself, I'm never gonna do that, man. And I kind of like ostracized them, I didn't have anything to do with them. And some of them didn't really too bother them, to tell you the truth. They was more interested in getting their buzz and that. And I said to myself, I'd never take heroin as well. And by this time now, I was about 18, 19, my drinking and my puff taking, it didn't have the same effect. Yeah, where before I could smoke a spliff and get high and get nice and all that, it take more weed now and more drink, and that's when I started to dabble in heroin. And I remember I got an 18-month sentence, I think I was about 19, I got 18 months sentence for a burglary, and I came out of jail, and that's when, I think it was about 82, 83, 84, the heroin in South London anyway, like Deptford, Peckham, Bermondsey, and not Bermondsey, Woolworth, it exploded then, and I came out of jail, and there weren't really nothing for me to do. And when I used to come out of jail in them days there, I used to always just take my time of getting back into crime. And I used to just come out of jail today and be back on the road tomorrow, or the next day, or the next day. I used to make sure I took my time just to feel my way back into the community. And I came out of jail, someone offered me a job in a crack house, not a crack house, because the crack wasn't even too prevalent then, in a house in Clapham that was selling heroin for £100 a day. I used to go there, do a shift like for 4 or 5 hours, and I used to get paid £100 a day. So I went to do the job in the house, and lo and behold, a lot of the customers that came to buy drugs, I knew them. I couldn't believe it, man. Some of the people were secret heroin smokers, so you didn't really know that they was on the gear. But when they actually turned up at the house and I saw them, I knew them, I couldn't believe it. And these are some of the people that I used to look up to, so I was thinking, wow, man. And then I was working in the heroin house for a little while, and there's so much money being made in there. They was making £3,000 a day, right? £3,000 a day. If they never made £3,000 in one day, something was wrong, yeah? The most they must have earned in one day was about £6,000, and I worked there for about 3 weeks, and I thought to myself, nah, this ain't right, man. So I gave my notice in, got my wages, gave up the job. I went to North London and bought one of them Motorola phones, and I went to find a dealer and I bought myself a 1/4 ounce of brown, and I started selling drugs for myself, man. And I always used to say that I wouldn't take drugs, but I was earning good money out of it. And I bought a car, and instead of having people coming to meet me, I used to go and meet them. Then I started smoking crack, which was just exploding then as well. This must be about 85, 86. And I started smoking crack, man. I don't know if they say it's true that after you smoke the first pipe, but it was so nice, man. It was like unbelievable, man. And even when I think about it, it's nostalgic thinking about it, because you always think about the good times when you're smoking drugs, not the bad times. But initially, in the beginning, it was really good, man. And I used to enjoy it. And I wasn't smoking on plastic bottles, and I was freebasing cocaine. And my dad used to be smoking with me as well, and friends and girls and things like that. So I stopped really dealing with crime. I started selling drugs instead. And I had a good time, man. But I started to smoke. They say, don't get high on your own supply. Yeah, I can agree with that one, because I started smoking and drinking. And when I used to smoke, I'd wake up in the morning, I'd have a drink, I'd smoke a spliff, I'd smoke some crack, and then I'd go on for the whole day. Then I'd use heroin to come down. It was just like, it was a madness, man. But I couldn't stop. Like, I was addicted, like proper addicted. I had a nice lifestyle, I had nice clothes, I had a nice car, I had jewelry, I had money all the time. But things just got unmanageable after that. Like, it overtook me. Where I used to be in control at one time, that control slowly started to evaporate, and the drugs started to overtake. And so things that I used to make, like normal things like getting up and being tidy, making sure my clothes are all right and everything, and I got my money and I'm being responsible with what I'm supposed to be being responsible with, that started to slip slowly but surely. And cut a long story short, it started to stick that badly, that everything just started to just blow up, man, big time. And then 15 years ago, I've been in it for a long time, man, so you can imagine all of the scrapes and everything that I've been through, but I don't want to go into the element of that too tough. My mum died about 15 years ago, and I think that was nearly the last straw, man. That just made all of my drug taking and my alcoholism worse. I was going at it with a vengeance, man. I got through the funeral, and then after that, like, I went off my head, man. Trust me, if it weren't for the grace of God, I wouldn't be standing there now talking to you without a shadow of doubt, man, because I've seen death so many times, man. It's unbelievable. After my mum died, I was just horrible to everybody around me. The only person I wasn't horrible to was my man. Even my dad, my girlfriend who I'd been with for a long time, my brothers, my sisters, my friends and all that. I was just drinking that much and taking not so much drugs, it's mostly drinking just to forget about, like, I think because I wouldn't accept what actually happened. So the only way I could console myself was to hide from the feelings that I was supposed to be feeling, like grief. Yeah, I couldn't feel them, so I was just drinking, and I was walking around like I was mad, man, because I was drunk all the time. And I was being so horrible and obnoxious and nasty, and I was just getting myself in loads of problems and that. And even the boys that I grew up with, man, who had enough respect for me and that, they used to see me coming down the road, man. I'll never forget this, man. It always reminded me to make other laugh about it. If they saw me coming down the road, it was like I was like a stepping rage, man. I was angry all the time. If they saw me coming down the road, man, they used to say to me, they told me after the event, yeah, they said, listen, if we used to look down the road and we used to see you coming down the road with that mad walk that you had, and we could see your kind of special boy in your hand, everyone would just go, they'd just disappear, man, because I was that infuriated and that mad and that angry. Like, I was hard work, man. Even my family and all that, everyone just said, like, let him crack on with it, man. Like, we wash our hands with him now. I never stole anything from them or anything like that, but I was just angry all the time and just rude to everybody. And you know what it's like when you're drunk and you're angry? I don't know if you've been as angry as I was, because I was in the position for about 3 or 4 years, man. Everything that I had, my girlfriend, me and her split up. I had a little boy, he was 5 at the time. Nothing, didn't really care. I didn't care about myself. So much so that when things was really, really bad for me, I thought to myself about killing myself, yeah? And I thought about a spectacular way that I could go out, yeah? And my mind said to me, the best way would be, but I wouldn't be able to get anyone to do it, but this is how sick my thoughts had gone to, was to go up on the tower block. There's one at the top of Relton Road. My brother used to live there actually, her new house. To go up on the top of her new house and just jump over the top of it, I think it's 18 floors, and get someone to video it, right? And put it, right? This is serious, you know, I'm not joking. Get someone to video it, right? Me coming down and collapsing and meeting the ground, yeah? And get someone to put it on YouTube, yeah? That's how twisted my thoughts was at the time, yeah? 3 things stopped me. My son, my nan, bless her, and my dad actually, Yeah, but no, there's 4 actually, and God, because I know that God doesn't like people to commit suicide. That's not the way to go out. And I didn't even mention my faith. I used to go to primary school when I was a little kid. I can remember going to the van coming to pick up me and my brother and my sister, and coming out in my Sunday best, my Sunday nice suit on, shirt and shoes and that. And I can remember all the kids pointing at me and my brother and my sister and that, and laughing at us, man. It was funny, but I didn't feel no way. I wasn't ashamed. That was it, because my family was Christians on both sides. And I used to go to a mission called the London City Mission in, it's right next to Vauxhall Farm, actually. Yeah, I used to go there when I was a kid, so I didn't too mind.